Okay guys, so before I get into this video, I'm just going to apologize if you hear sounds that sound like engine revving. My neighbors are up from downstate Michigan and they have a jet boat next door. So if you hear that, that is what it is. I apologize in advance. They've been quiet for a little bit, but that may not last. So in this video, I am going to respond to something that I saw in one of my Facebook support groups for people who are either contemplating weight loss surgery or have had weight loss surgery or are in the process of getting approved for weight loss surgery or waiting for their surgery to happen. So the question that this person asked in the group was, what was the final straw that made you decide to get surgery? So I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but I have mentioned before that I had been trying to lose weight for a very long time. I have been trying to lose weight for multiple years. I have really been focused on it since returning to Michigan. Like when I moved back to Michigan in 2021 and went through my divorce and all of that, I really started focusing on myself and becoming the healthiest version of myself that I could be. Like I have looked back on pictures that I never posted to Facebook and because I have like folders and folders of pictures on Shutterfly, and it just is so embarrassing to me how I look in those pictures, like how puffy and fat my face was. And I'm sure like even if you look back at old videos on my YouTube channel, you can see just how overweight I was and how fat my face was and everything. And obviously like it is September 2024 as I am filming this, and my surgery was in June of 2024, and my face has slimmed down significantly. My neck is slimmer than it was, and I just feel like I've made a lot of progress. So there are multiple reasons why I chose to have weight loss surgery. I had mentioned in multiple previous videos all of the efforts that I was going towards or working towards to lose weight. I was taking Ozempic weekly, which is an injectable medication for people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic. And one of the side effects of that medication particularly is weight loss. However, like I experienced the A1C control and the blood sugar regulation with the Ozempic, but I didn't really have any weight loss. I will say that I didn't really change my eating habits much other than I cut out like soda and stuff like that. I was drinking much more water and focusing on those things, but I didn't really change my eating habits as far as like the food I was consuming. So that also played a role in me not really losing weight, I'm sure. I was trying to focus more on eating fruits and vegetables and things like that, but I was still eating the other normal foods that I enjoyed to eat, like breads, rice, pasta, pizza, all of those things were still in my diet at that time. Obviously, right now, none of those things are in my diet because still at this point, post-op, I am not allowed to have any breads, rices, or pastas. And I think that honestly, I would be a little bit afraid to go back to that right now because I consider those slider foods just because of how much I actually like to eat them. And I know that once I am able to start having those things, I feel like it is a slippery slope back to where I was before. And I do not want to ever go back to the weight that I was at before. So basically, the fact that the weight loss methods that I was trying did not work. I had tried not just Ozempic, but I tried Adipex. I was using Topamax, but I had used that for my seizure disorder in the past and was taken off of it because it made like my face go numb. It made my hands and fingers go numb. It was just very, very weird reaction that I had to the Topamax. So I actually consider that like a drug sensitivity. It is listed on my medication list as an allergy, even though it's not really an allergy, it's more of a sensitivity because of how my body reacted to it. I just don't want to take that anymore. And I had lost like maybe 10 pounds in the last year or so, just with, changing different things about my diet as far as like eliminating the pop. I was drinking sparkling water, so I was still having carbonation, but not like the pop that I was. And if I was drinking pop, I had the zero sugar pops, which I know some people say those are not healthy either. It's not really a healthy choice, but it was zero sugar. And so I felt like it was a healthier decision to have that as an alternative to a regular pop, which has a lot of added sugar in it. Now, most of my drinks are either protein shakes or water. Sometimes I'll have milk, like if I'm drinking like homemade like protein shake, because I do have protein powders and things like that. But for the most part, my drinks are water. I do have some teas every once in a while, but I try not to drink a whole lot of caffeine because I'm still supposed to be limiting the amount of caffeine that I have because it can contribute to dehydration and things like that. But I think I got to the point where I was just kind of fed up with the fact that I had lost weight since moving back to Michigan from Indiana and going through my divorce. But I was kind of at a like huge plateau. I could not make any more progress, even with the medical weight loss efforts that I was putting forth. Like the medications I was taking just did not seem to be making a difference for me anymore. And I know part of that was probably because I was working in the sleep center on night shift. And so my eating schedule was all thrown off. I also did not have the healthiest relationship with food, as I have talked about numerous times on this channel. I ate when I was bored. I ate when I was emotional. I ate when I was happy. I ate when I was sad. Food has always played a huge role in my life, and I am thankful that this surgery is giving me the opportunity to kind of rebuild a much healthier version of that relationship with food because it needed to happen. So I don't know. I just feel like I had come to this decision to have weight loss surgery in the past, but just didn't follow through with it. I had been approved to have the gastric sleeve, I believe it was as well, in Mexico, but I just never scheduled the surgery date. I didn't pay anything towards having that surgery with that surgical group. And then I found out that my health insurance through the hospital would cover weight loss surgery. And plus I had found out, obviously through being in the hospital with all of my liver problems, I had met my deductible and then some. So I decided this year would be the perfect time to try to get everything in order to have the weight loss surgery that I had been talking about doing for years. And I had made multiple videos about having weight loss surgery for years, multiple years on my channel, and I just decided that I needed to actually follow through with it. I have had, I had had enough of, not being well enough to do certain physical activities that I really wanted to do. I felt like it was embarrassing when my godmother and I went parasailing, like looking at some of those pictures, how big I was, like even in the face, like my face was so fat. And I didn't like what I saw. And I didn't like the fact that they had said to me that day when I was going parasailing with my godmother, they had said that, oh, we might not be able to bring you up into the air, which really upset me. And it was because of my weight. And so I just wanted to open up all of the doors of opportunity for me to be able to be a healthier person, be able to do the things that I wanted to do, be able to be more active. And I think one thing that the surgeon asked me at our initial consultation was like, what was my motivation behind wanting to get weight loss surgery in the first place? And so I kind of told him, I want to be more active. I want to be able to go out and hike and do things outside and not get tired after like 10 minutes. And that is how it was. Like I would be huffing and puffing, just climbing up a sand dune to go like on our gravel travels that my godmother and her sisters and I would go on. Like I would be so exhausted. I would be huffing and puffing, barely able to catch my breath. Like kayaking and stuff like that. I would see pictures of myself and just not like what I saw. And I didn't get weight loss surgery for the aesthetics of it. I got it more for the health reasons, but it also helps that I am much more happy with what I'm seeing in the photographs that people take of me. I still don't like the way that my body looks, but I am still in the process of losing weight. And I think some of my issues with the way that my body looks now is, or can be, contributed to body dysmorphia, because I know that I still see myself as being my highest weight. And so it's hard for me to look at pictures of myself at the weight that I am now and know that I'm not at my highest weight. My highest weight was 310 pounds, and I am definitely nowhere close to that. I am at 197 right now. And like the day that I got into the 100s, I cried. I was so ecstatic that I cried. I know that this is getting off topic, but I was so ecstatic that I cried. And I know that I have so much farther to go. But I think that, you know, making this decision was one of the best decisions that I have ever made for myself in my life. I just had gotten to the point where, like I said, I was fed up with nothing working, and I knew that I needed something extra to kind of push me further to lose weight because of my PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have PCOS, I have insulin resistance, and so people with PCOS, it is more difficult for them to lose weight on their own. And my surgeon did confirm that with me prior to me even, you know, agreeing that yes, I think surgery is the thing that I need to do at this point in time. And we had discussed, you know, all of the people that have PCOS that have had surgery at his surgical group. And eventually I made the decision to go through with the surgery, obviously. But I just got to that point where I kind of had tried everything that I thought was possible other than surgery, because I didn't really want to have surgery, but I don't think anybody really ever wants to get to that point where they need to have surgery. But I knew that I had gotten there. I had kind of hit a wall as far as the progress that I was making, like I said, and even with medications and doing things that the doctor had recommended to me, it just wasn't working for me. And so I'm glad that I made the decision to go through with surgery. But yeah, I guess that is it for today's video. If you guys have had weight loss surgery or are contemplating weight loss surgery or are in the process, let me know what the driving force was behind you considering having weight loss surgery, or, you know, why you're interested in getting weight loss surgery. Like I said, for me, it's more of I want to be healthy. I want to be able to do things that I couldn't before surgery. And I've definitely noticed my stamina, my motivation to get out and be more active is definitely there, much more than it was prior to surgery. Don't get me wrong, I still have my days and my moments where I'm like, why do I have to get up and move? I really don't want to. Like, I want to just be lazy and bum around the house. But I do get up and I move and I feel better afterwards. And I think some of that has to do with like mental health stuff too, because I have been dealing with depression and anxiety for decades. And, you know, part of that has contributed to my weight gain over the years, but I am working on becoming the healthiest version of myself that I can be. And yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, or any topics you would like me to discuss more on my channel in the future, let me know. I'd be glad to film something for you. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.